3. We are going to graph a system of linear inequalities. So step 1, graph each inequality in the system. You may want to use colored pencils. If you have them, you're going to need about 4 different colors. So if you don't, you might use a highlighter, a red pen, a black pen, a blue pen, your pencil. Today we're going to use up to 4 colors. So you might need to borrow from a neighbor if you don't have that many colors with you. Step 2, identify the region that is common to all the graphs of the inequalities. This region is the graph of the system. If you used colored pencils, the graph of the system is the region that has every color in it. Okay, so let's look at example 1. If I want to graph the system of inequalities y greater than negative 2x minus 5 and y less than or equal to x plus 3, pick your first color. And here's what I want you to do, because this is going to get very messy as we do it. I need you to put a little circle in the first color you're going to use, okay, and it would be fine if you start with a pencil. And then I want you to do all your work for that inequality in that color. So I'm using red because I have that on my board, but I'm putting a red dot here. And if you remember back in chapter 2, we learned how to graph an inequality. So I need to caution some of you that are doing that learn, dump, and you don't remember things. You cannot do that in mathematics. We're now going to use that skill. I'm going to briefly go over it again, but I've already taught this to you, so you're supposed to know how to do this. So when I want to graph y greater than negative 2x minus 5, it's dashed. Then you change it to an equal sign, graph the line, make sure you indicate a scale. So when I want to graph y equals negative 2x minus 5, the great news is I can plot the y-intercept. And if you notice on my grid, I don't have enough space to go down to right 1. What's another option for me if this happens to you, Jaslyn?
Go up to left.
Good job. Go up to left 1, up to left 1, up to left 1. And remember, you want to fill your grid. So this is a dashed line. And remember, do everything for this inequality in the same color. Everything from the body of your work to the line on the graph. So when you're graphing an inequality, determine solid or dashed, change it to an equal sign and graph it. Then pick a test point not on the line. Is 0 greater than negative 5? Yes, so I'm shading where the test point is. So everything is being done in this one color. When you're ready, pick a new color. We're going to put a circle, a little dot, next to the second one. And then we're going to do the body of our work in this color. This is very, very important that you're doing this. Because it is, once we get to where we've got 3 of these going and we've got 4 colors, it's going to get very confusing. So we need to do our best here. So this is solid. I'm going to change it to an equal sign. Good news, it's in y equals mx plus b form. I go up to 3, and then it's up 1, right 1, but I can also go down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. solid. Test point it. Is 0 less than or equal to 3? Yes. Now what you want to do is you want to look at where are you seeing both colors. And here's where the third color comes into play. I'm going to pick a new color, and you need to outline the region. So it's this solid, so you want to make sure you're making this solid, this side. Then it goes dashed, and get a little obnoxious, okay? Get a little bit over the top, make it solid, and then with your new color, it's just in this region right here. Let me make my pen. There we go, much better. Okay, so do you see I've outlined it with the dashes and the solid, and then this is clearly where the two colors are overlapping. Any questions on this? No. Okay. All right, super. Let's look at example 2. All right, pick your first color, make a dot, then do all your work in this color for the first one. So this is dashed. Now this one is in standard form, ax plus by equals c. You do not have to solve it for y equals mx plus b. Let's do the intercept method to graph it. Now if you attempt the intercept method and they're nasty fractions, you might want to do y equals mx plus b. But this is where you get, as the Algebra 2 trig student, the opportunity to stop and analyze the situation. Alright, so if I cover up the x term, I get 3y equals 6, so y is 2. If I cover up the y term, I get 2x equals 6, so x is 3. So let me make my grid. Remember to make a scale. So I'm going to plot 0, 2, 3, 0. This is a dashed line. Remember to fill your grid. Fill your grid when you're drawing your line. Well, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 is less than 6. So I'm going to shade where the test point is. Now pick a new color, put a dot next to the second one, and do all your work in that second color. And what's really nice is this does reinforce what we learned about graphing one inequality. We just get to practice it some more. So y greater than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 4. This is solid. I change it to an equal sign. Good news, this is in y equals mx plus b form. I plot the y-intercept, which is 4, and then I'm going to use the slope to get more points. So I go down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. This is a solid line. pick a test point not on the line. Is 0 greater than or equal to 4? No, so I don't shade over by the test point. I'm going to shade on the other side. Now, what did we just say is the graph of a system of inequalities? What were we looking for to finish it? Henry? Yeah, you're looking for where you have the two parts are both shaded. And they're crisscrossing, overlapping. There is no place that's overlapping. So this means there's no solution. I mean, you still are going to do your shading, but there's no third color to darken in because there's no place they overlap. Okay? All right, example 3. What if we throw in an absolute value inequality, which that's what we did in chapter 2. So I'm going to do my first color in blue. You pick your first color. This is solid. What do I know about y equals 3? What kind of line is that? Good job. That's horizontal. Remember your scale. All right, this is a solid line, solid horizontal line through y equals 3. If I pick a test point not on the line, is 0 less than or equal to 3? Yes. So we're going to shade underneath. All right, then pick your second color. And this is the cool, exciting part. We need to remember what we did in chapter 2. If I set the inequality symbol to an equal sign, I have y equals the absolute value of x plus 4. And I know we've been struggling with this a little bit. When you see the equation, you should get an image in your mind of the graph, the shape of the graph. What shape, Carmel? It's a V, okay? You need to remember it's a V shape. So with a V shape, I have a vertex. Remember, our vacuum often in socks only. It's a little goofy, but it's going to work for us. The vertex is the opposite of the inside, the same as the outside. Our slope is 1. So I'm going to go plot the vertex at -4, 0, and then I'm going to use the slope and some symmetry to graph this V. So I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And I can't quite go as far as I would like. I'm going to go back. Do you see how my horizontal line doesn't intersect all the way? When that happens to you, and it will, go back and extend your horizontal line, okay? Just make that little bit of effort. Now we need a test point that's not on the V. And what we're trying to determine with this test point, am I shading inside the V or outside the V? So if I plug it into the inequality, is 0 greater than the absolute value of 0 plus 4? And that's a no, so instead of where the test point is that's on the outside, I'm shading on the inside of the V. The question becomes, where do you see both colors? Okay, good job. It's this little region, this teeny tiny little triangle. So pick a new color and make sure, uh-oh, I just caught a mistake. Carmel? Thank you. Thank you. I caught my mistake. See, good thing though. I was looking at it going, wait, why is that solid? So you guys, mistakes are good. Mistakes are for us to learn. Good. Okay. Yay, caught it. And make sure as you're doing these, you really do reflect and think about it, because it's not the end of the world if you've made a mistake. That is a good opportunity for us to learn. But when I looked back and I was like, wait a minute, all of my parts when I go to highlight them are going to be solid, but I knew one of them was dashed. So if you're using a pencil, you can just erase like I did. If you're doing a pen or colored pencil, go through and like kind of darken a dashed for me, and then like write a note that says this is dashed. and I'm okay with that, because I know with a pen there's nothing you can do about that. Alright, any questions on this one? It's kind of fun, isn't it? This is fun. I know students actually like, they love the colored pencils. They're like, when do we get colored pencils again? Alright, let's look at example 4. Dun dun dun. We're going to take it up to 3 inequalities. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one. X greater than or equal to -3. I'm choosing red. So this is where you're going to need 4 colors. This is solid. So x equals -3. I like this. This is a vertical line. So really this one is not that bad, because 2 of your lines are super easy. Don't forget to indicate your scale. So this is a solid vertical line at x is -3. I'll test point 0, 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to -3? Yes. So I'm going to shade on the side that has the test point. Y less than 2, this will be dashed. Y equals 2 is a horizontal line. So I'm getting 0 is less than 2 is true. Now, I want to see if we can pick this up. You guys have really seemed to get this easily. Do you understand that when I am shading below my blue dashed line, even though it is over here, if you know, and we're trying to take this to the next level, couldn't I go ahead and just shade here? Because I know it needs to be only where the red is, so it would kind of clear it up so it's not quite so muddy, not so messy. Do you guys get that? That technically it is over here as well, but I'm going to anticipate I'm looking for crisscross, so let's not bother, because I know it's not, my final answer isn't going to be over here. Alright, now the third one, you need your third color. This one's dashed. Y equals -2x plus 1. So here we go. I'm going to plot the y-intercept at +1 and then use the slope. Go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Thank you. I need help, don't I? Okay, so we're going to do this dashed. Is 0 greater than 1? No. So now we're going to shade over here, and it's in this region. So let's pick our final color to really highlight. It's dashed here, and it's only, let me thicken that up a little bit. There we go, much better. Okay, but make sure you're dashing